one. Welcome back to another episode of the Unscripted Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Eduardo. I'm here with my co-host, Edward. What's up, Edward?
So, Betty, you already know why we're here. You just want to.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, let's just we took a long hiatus. We took the off season. Once the Super Bowl was over, we kind of took a little break
I
from
mean,
podcasting, and we were meaning to try to record, but just ever since football season ended, it
just consider this like a special edition episode.
yeah, NBA. The I haven't really been up keeping up with the NBA.
Playoffs
Uh,
are coming soon. Just give it about one more month.
yeah, and then possibly we could be talking about March Madness. We'll see. It's always March Madness is always exciting, especially you never know what Cinderella team will pull an upset on the number one seed. So uh, we'll see if we talk about that. But we're here
But,
because
but
the end.
speaking of,
Well,
yeah, speaking of the NBA, typically the NBA is like it's the more, it's the one with the free agency you really like dial into. But this year in particular,
oh
I
man.
think, I think the NFL is giving the NBA a run for its money.
Man, what a crazy week last week of NFL free agency. The frenzy, it was a lot to keep up. You would get notifications of this player, this player, this player getting traded, getting this and that. And obviously, we're in the time where the NFL draft is coming up soon in April, the end of April. So, it's a lot of speculations, a lot of this and that. But let's just get into the topic. The biggest news that's happened, obviously. Let's just start out with this. I want your reaction as a Steelers fan. Russell Wilson.
I'm just gonna
First,
cut to the chase. It's just very, very rare.
okay, okay.
We're the ones really
All right.
like
All right.
taking
So,
over free agency.
all right,
So
all right. So, on when did the Russell Wilson trade happen? Or the pickup? Was it that
uh
Monday? Monday? Last Monday?
if I can get
So,
the
so, so at the beginning of the week, the Steelers picked up Russell Wilson, and everybody was like, "That's a great deal." It's a 1 year deal. The Broncos still have to pay him 38 million, I believe, guaranteed. The Steelers only had to pay 1.2 or 1.8 million. It's a
basically
one
got
year.
the vet minimum.
Yeah, so it's a 1 year deal. It's a great deal. It was a great deal. I think the Steelers did a really good job picking him up. And we all thought, I'm sure every Steelers fan as yourself, it was going to be Kenny Pickett and Russell Wilson. Most likely it would have been Russell Wilson starting because if they would have brought him, it's a 1 year deal, probably a prove it deal, or Kenny could have learned. And then we get the news on Saturday that no, was it Friday? Friday, Kenny Pickett was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. And we were like, what the heck just happened? And, I guess according to like some sources, whatever, Kenny Pickett didn't take it the right way or something like that. I'm sure you probably know more about that. But I'll let you get some time to explain it. And then Saturday, you guys picked up Justin Fields for a sixth round pick, potentially a fourth round pick if he plays 50% of the snaps, um, which was crazy to think. Like I said, the Steelers don't do this. The Steelers are known. There's a franchise, like I said, it's a well-respected franchise. It's um, you know, they do a certain way. They don't do what like other franchises do. They don't normally do this. Kenny Pickett was the first round pick of the 2022nd draft. 20,
Yeah, the
22.
2022 draft. Yeah.
They picked him in the first round, and Steelers just usually, they keep their quarterbacks. They don't really do this, and I guess it was 2 years, and I guess Steelers they just had enough of. Maybe they just had to move on with Kenny. There was a lot of new things happening. I think Mike Tomlin obviously they fired Matt Canada off in the middle of the season. They like I said they normally don't do that, but I think we're living in a new era of the Steelers. And you as a Steelers fan, I want to hear your perspective. about Justin Fields and Russell Wilson joining the Pittsburgh Steelers, and how are you feeling? And your thoughts about Kenny Pickett. That's all for you.
Look, look, I'll just speak on this.
Because you were really high on Kenny Pickett. I've always said I didn't think Kenny Pickett was that good. I didn't think Kenny Pickett was worth a first round pick. You know, obviously the Steelers picked him because they were familiar with him. He went to Pitt. They used the same facilities. I didn't see him as a franchise quarterback for the Steelers. Yes, he had flashes, but I didn't see him as a as a quarterback that take on the other quarterbacks in the AFC. But with these two trades that they just have, the Steelers, there's a lot of there's a lot of good reasons for the Steelers nation.
Like I said, I'll just speak on this. Yeah, the Steelers, they're a franchise that's not really used to, I guess, really dominating the headlines of free agency. They kind of stick to this old try and true method of drafting and developing guys, kind of just really just going through the draft and not really signing no big name free agent. But as you know, our old GM Kevin Colbert left, and we got a new GM with Omar Khan, who's been with the organization for about 20 plus years, working up under Kevin Colbert to be his successor.
Mhm.
And we have officially named him the Con Artist because he gets deals done, and he had more tricks up his sleeve, and he nobody saw all these deals coming. Maybe the
Mhm.
Russell Wilson deal, yeah, but the Justin Fields deal, he was like,
There was little
there were definitely whispers that
even
there's a
before Russ
trade
got
market out for him, and basically everybody kept waiting when that deal was going to get done. Nobody knew what team was going to, but hey,
obviously.
we're calling the Con Artist for the reason he just pulled off a fleece.
Yeah, like it was like a steal just to get Justin Fields. Both of them were steals, to be honest. Both of them were steals. Like you said, it's a 6th round pick, potentially a 4th round if he plays 50% of the snaps, but it's kind of looking like Russ is probably gonna start. Obviously, it's a 1-year deal. Um, I think Russ will the only way Russ is gonna lose the job if he plays bad. And Justin Fields, obviously he's only 25 or 26 years old. So he's still a young quarterback. He can learn behind Russ. And I think this is a perfect spot for Justin Fields. It's the Steelers organization. He's coached by Mike Tomlin. Um, what better scenario for him? Obviously, the Bears situation was a horrible situation. Any quarterback that would go there, I'm sure it's not. They haven't found a quarterback like in years. Probably what Jake Cutler was probably the somewhat, but or Rex. I don't even know.
The
But
Bears are still been
yeah.
they still been trying to find their way for a while.
Now, like I said, you were very, very, very high on Kenny Pickett. You always. I guess, yeah, I guess I understand. You're still the Steelers. As a Steelers fan, you were always protective of your players, and you were,
Yes, yes,
this and
yes.
that.
I was a Kenny Pickett defender.
You know,
Every single criticism, I dodged it. Oh, his hands are too small. Oh, he can't live up to Big Ben shadow. He was still the only quarterback taken in the first round of that draft. I was very loyal to him, but I can make the same argument that yeah, my main thing with Kenny was I felt he was being held back by an incompetent offensive coordinator, but it's just really funny how that works out because I guess the quarterback we brought in was also held back by a pretty incompetent offense coordinator.
mm,
So, I mean, Justin Fields, it was just always being talked about him. He wasn't going to be with the Bears next year. They even talked about during the season that they don't expect him to be back with the Bears, or the Bears don't expect to pick up his option,
mm,
his 50-year option. And I'm pretty sure everybody saw the writing on the wall. I know he was asked about it on a podcast, and his answer was just because you don't follow the girl on IG doesn't mean you're not messing with them. When I
yeah.
guess
I mean, which is which is true, right? But obviously they he said something about the Steelers, right? I'm not sure.
I mean that quotes just make me like him even more. Just
Um,
because you don't follow the girl on IG doesn't mean you're not messing with them. So maybe that quarterback room kind of has like maybe maybe some different outlooks on how they go about their life, but
Mhm.
it is what it is.
Now, is there more? Are you excited about the season that's coming than you were last season? Just with all this stuff that just happened. Um, did you guys who? Oh yeah, you guys picked up uh man for the
Patrick
Steelers.
Queen
Yeah, Patrick Queen. Was there any other additions that you guys have?
traded away Deontay Johnson.
Okay, but most likely you guys are gonna draft a receiver. As it's this
Mhm.
is what the Steelers do. They always find talent. They always find like they're really great at finding wide receivers. Obviously, the defense is the defense as long as everybody stays healthy. Um, but are you excited about the upcoming season than you were last season? Regardless who starts, are like what are your thoughts on Russ? We just touched on Justin Fields. What are your thoughts on Russ joining the Steelers? And he didn't play that last season. He didn't play that bad. He was he threw for 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Obviously, the first season was a huge disaster. The coach, what was the coach that now he's the offensive coordinator for the Jets?
Nathaniel
Um,
Hackett.
Nathaniel Hackett. Obviously, it was a disaster there. He threw for 6 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and the the ownership didn't bring him there. Then they just got stuck with him. They got him a big contract that it's probably looking at like a one of the worst contracts in history, in NFL history. But what's your thoughts on Russell Wilson?
I know Russell Wilson, the image of Russell Wilson. I think everybody's quick to bring up the whole
Let's ride.
let's ride the Mr. Unlimited. I
Yeah.
know a lot of
The danger witch. You guys are gonna have a lot of danger witches in Pittsburgh. I'm sure there's gonna be a sandwich down there.
a lot of football fans. They've been pretty vocal about how they view Russell Wilson and his personality. And
I mean,
maybe
he's a
I've
little
asked him.
corny. He's a little corny. You
Those are
know,
your words, not mine.
I mean,
I've personally I personally felt a way about I personally felt the type of way about Russell
but
Wilson,
as a
but
football player, as a strictly about football player, as a football player,
never in my mind did I not believe he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
mhm.
And who knew if he was gonna I wasn't expecting him to come to my favorite team, but here we are. And
Now either one, you don't care who starts. Now, obviously, Justin Fields, he's a young thing
I
talent.
mean
Has
Russ is reported to be the starter for week. That's
mhm,
just how it goes.
mhm. And it, like I said, like it just depends if he. The only way he's gonna lose the job if it's, he plays poorly. But obviously with Artie Smith and that run game that they've had with Jalen Warren and Najee Harris, then you got Pickens, you got Fryermuth. Who else you guys have? Why
Stuff
why
Calvin
does
Austin
and I'm sure you guys, like I said, you guys are gonna pick up somebody.
and Darnell Washington.
You guys are gonna pick up somebody. So that offense definitely will be exciting to watch. We'll see. Now let's just see some like you said, the offense was really bad. There hasn't been the quarterback hasn't thrown for what more over than 300 yards, 400 yards or something like that in a while in Pittsburgh with the Pittsburgh quarterback. Ever since like Big Ben was there.
I'm just saying we've had like a revolving chair around quarterbacks, and I think they've only thrown 28 touchdown passes.
Mhm.
Like combined, that's how many touchdown passes were just
Yeah.
thrown.
Now
But
now
yeah, it's funny you bring up the offense and just the team as a whole because we haven't won a playoff game in
10 years, almost a decade.
not 10 years, just about. I think our last playoff win was in 2017.
Mhm. About almost almost a decade. Um
And Steeler
Now
Nation, they've been clamoring for wholesale changes. Not wholesale changes, but just like
major
that's
changes.
really that's really been like the bar of success to not have a losing season. And
And the Steelers are not known for that. It's Super Bowl or nothing for the
yeah,
Steelers
we're a franchise
organization.
with 6 Lombardis, and our Steeler fans were hungry for another title just to one break the record. Bill
Mhm.
Belichick and Tom Brady are gone, so Patriot fans suck. Ain't happening.
Mhm. But
Song
like
right. Good enough. Keep it. I'll keep it like that.
But like I said, like it's something that Steelers don't normally do, and like I said, it's a new era of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, like I said, are you excited though? Are you excited with with your team for the offseason? What is your expectation for this team? Obviously, they already had 10 wins with I think half of the season with Kenny, then Mitch, then Mason Rudolph took them to the playoffs.
I
Um,
mean,
you
oh yeah, I'm
know,
excited.
they had 10 wins. So what are your expectations for this team now
I
with
mean,
a like a great quarterbacks, like good quarterbacks, actual quarterbacks, with a lot of experience, both of them.
yeah, obviously, I know people probably see Steeler fans as as like entitled pricks or just like we're very spoiled or entitled because Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. You guys have 6 Super Bowls, first class organization. This blah 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 blah
Mhm.
blah. Yeah, we're still gonna be dogs because we still got Cam Hayward, we still got T.J. Watt, we still got
And
Minka
yeah,
Fitzpatrick.
if he stays healthy,
So
everybody stays there. And Joey Porter Jr. Obviously, you guys picked him up you guys drafted him last season.
mhm.
But like I said, it's a tough division. They had to do it because to compete with the other quarterbacks, like I said, Mahomes, Lamar, and then just within your division, Lamar, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, like you guys had to do something like this. Get a good quarterback
Yeah,
just to compete. And that's what my whole thing with Kenny Pickett was that I didn't see him like if going against all the other quarterbacks in the AFC, I didn't see him like he was gonna able to lead the team to a Super Bowl or lead them to a AFC championship. I didn't see that potential. I didn't see him like that level of this
the
against the
thing
other
is, he
AFC
did
quarterback.
nothing. The thing is, he did nothing wrong to warrant that criticism. Yes, he had a horrible offensive coordinator, but I
But
saw
but even with an offensive coordinator, like you could have had he could have done something a little bit more. Just as himself, you know,
what do you
like let's
mean
say
more?
look, so his career, right? He played 13 games the first season. He the first season he has seven touchdowns, 9 interceptions. The second season, the last season he had 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I don't even, and he only threw for I'm trying to read that was passing 2,400 yards. The other season 2,000 yards. So his career in the Pittsburgh Steelers, he threw for 4,474 yards. He threw for 13 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in his career at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
And,
I
and,
see
and
those numbers. Yeah, and
like
I
I
see
said,
those numbers, but let me just toss some things that you did. Yeah, he had a pretty shaky start to his rookie season, but in the second half of the season, was he not winning games in the fourth quarter? He won against the Raiders. He won
like I
against
say,
the Colts. He won against the
he
Ravens.
had flashes, and we were there against the Ravens. He had flashes, like certain moments, but as a long term for the quarterback, I didn't see him with the series. I didn't see him elevating the team even more. When you have certain quarterbacks that they're on a team, okay, with him we're gonna win. We're gonna get far. Like let's say a fourth, like a drive, whatever. We know that you're gonna do it. Like you said, like with like Josh Allen, Lamar, Herbert, Burrow, like with them, like as long as we have that guy, we have a chance. Like I feel like Kenny, it wasn't like that. Now it's just me. Just
So I
I think a lot of us. I think me personally, I didn't think he was that like he wasn't that good of a quarterback. I said I think he was a backup quarterback at best. From what I saw those 2 years, I think at best he was a backup quarterback, a really good backup quarterback. Because now in this time in the NFL, you need a really good backup quarterback because a lot of injuries have happened. And last season,
I
how many
mean,
backup quarterbacks started?
he didn't lose his job based on his play. He lost his job because of
Injury.
injury.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm not really understanding what you're saying when he says when like you didn't really see him as like nothing more than a backup quarterback when he was
I
the
think
cause of
just
winning
I mean
games.
just for certain things I just didn't see him as a quarterback, and obviously the Steelers didn't see him because they had it. They if they believed in him, they wouldn't have made these trades. If they really believed in Kenny Pickett and they thought he was the guy, they wouldn't have got Russ, and they wouldn't have got Justin Fields. Obviously, Kenny Pickett left because he wanted to leave. I think what did they say? Like they didn't tell him or something like that. He wasn't aware. Like what he like he didn't want to
I think
compete.
it's basically from his vantage point that I mean, I'm not wishing any ill will on the guy. It's just maybe from his vantage point, he didn't want to compete for the starting job,
Now,
which I get.
okay,
But
but you're gonna go
also,
to the Philadelphia and compete with Jalen Hurts.
no, I'm saying like
But I'm
he
saying,
didn't.
but in his perspective, okay, he's saying that
I'm
he didn't
saying
want
as
to,
a player, he didn't want to.
yeah,
He didn't
compete
want
for
to
the job,
compete. Not saying like he lost the job, and also probably he was just dealing with the ramifications of what he was,
which is tough.
pretty much the situation he was dealing with. He already stood. He already cleared up the fact that he already denied the fact that he wasn't refusing to dress up to accept that job when against the Seahawks swing game last season.
No, but I'm saying like, okay, I guess he didn't want to compete for a job. But if you go to Philadelphia, like he says, he's from Philly or he's from Pennsylvania, or he was a Philly fan too. There's a picture of him wearing the jersey. But you're going to Philadelphia, you're gonna go try to, you're gonna be a backup with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the starter there. Like, he could have gone somewhere else, who needs a quarterback. But
I feel like that was out of it. That was out of his
yeah,
control.
yeah.
He's. I'm not saying he's deserving of taking his job.
Mhm.
I know it's probably. I know you're probably thinking I'm sounding like an apologist for him. It's just that
The way that it looked like it's just like he just left like, okay, they got these two, I'm gonna be a third string basically, and he didn't want to compete for it. That's what it kind of looked like. And I guess I don't know what he said in his press conference that he had like on that what Saturday or so, I'm not sure when it was when he had that press conference.
he had it today.
uh,
Actually,
uh-huh do you know what he said, or
yeah.
somewhat
I mean, he
paraphrase
said
it?
there was a communication with him and Russell, but he said they handled it. They handled it internally, but he was just doing what was best for him.
Look, I I he might have a chance somewhere. It just, I'm sure, like I said, a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of injuries happen. There's a lot of
Basically,
teams
what
that,
we learned from this free agency is that the backup quarterback market pretty much inflated
yeah,
due to all the injuries that
it's a
happened
premium. It's a
this
premium
season.
now. It's a premium now. You have to have a really good quarterback as your backup. Now, like we saw with, you know, Sam Howell, the Commanders traded him. He went to Seattle behind, to with Geno. Obviously, I thought Seattle was going to pick up a quarterback. In the late rounds, first round, second round, who knows? It could have been Michael Penix Jr. because he's,
Yeah,
for Washington.
I mean, yeah, we're still not done in like this all season. It's
No,
just
okay, yeah. So let
there's still plenty of questions that are going to be answered.
yeah. So
This all season was just like the first taste of everything, honestly. Free
well,
agency, I mean.
let's just to close this whole, this Steelers thing. Like I said, Steelers Nation. I'm sure you guys are happy for the season. Now just enjoy the ride. Let's ride with Russell Wilson his next season. Now let's move on to there's a lot of like a lot of free agents that just happened, right? A lot of things happened during free agency. Let me
Yeah, you call Russ corny, but that segue was just as corny. Yeah, but I'll teach you how to do a better segue because
uh
with all these trades and free agency signings, how come the Chargers couldn't really keep Keenan Allen and why'd they get rid of Austin Eckler?
so so
Of all
like you
places,
so
why they signed
so
some
so we were
Commanders?
under the cap. Let me try to find like the and like we were under the cap, and so it was very tough for us. Like we were one of like the last teams under the cap, and there was no way to first. I knew one of what out of the four. So Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joey Bosa, and Khalil Mack. I thought at least one of them was gonna go, and I maybe two. But from in my perspective, if it was between Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, I would have. I thought they were gonna keep Khalil Mack and just get rid of Joey Bosa, but they ended up keeping both. And then in the terms of Mike Williams, I think you know, he he was a he's a tall wide receiver, big wide receiver, but the issue was could he stay Like he had injury prone, and that was a thing. And obviously, I think they had to pay him too. Kenny Allen, I think they wanted
Was he
rest-
that injury prone, or was it just that one ACL injury that kind of highlighted a lot
he
of
was on and
things?
on and off like the whole season. He couldn't stay healthy for the most part. His time there, obviously last season. Um, no, but if he wasn't, if he didn't have injury prone, everything was good. Obviously he's a starter. He's a wide receiver one. Obviously with his height and everything. And for Keenan Allen, I think was that I was like, okay, they got rid of Mike Williams. Okay, so we're gonna keep Keenan Allen. I was like happy. I was like, okay, he's been so consistent. He was a basically our whole offense. Him and Eckler, but Keenan Allen has been consistent throughout the years as a Charger. And then come to find
Up for
out
those
that
touchdowns now.
so so I guess they come to find out that they told him that he wanted to restructure his contract, take a little bit less money, and then he said that during his press conference with the Bears that he felt like he didn't deserve to like take less money. And I don't blame him. He's been consistent. He's been a key factor of the team. I don't blame him for taking not want to take less money. You know, I don't blame him because he deserves the money. He's performed well. He was Justin Herbert's security blanket. Like he was to go. So I mean, it sucks for Buffalo to leave. It's definitely it sucked that Keenan Allen had was traded because I wanted him to stay. Um, I'm sure
I mean,
Jim Harbaugh wanted him to stay too, but and then with Eckler, I think even though he's been very consistent, everything I think it was kind of time for it. I think he wanted more money, and the Chargers didn't want to pay him. Also, he got traded to the Commanders, and I don't think they only pay 11 million, so it's a 2-year contract. I don't think it's not what he wanted the price. So we'll see. I think he wanted more, but like obviously the running back market is not the best market right now. But
valid point.
he's a touchdown machine. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
He did a lot for the Chargers, but I think
I mean, according to this guy's former teammate, Justin Fields, I'm trying to point to,
uh,
yeah, his former teammate put out tweets saying business, business. And that's kind of what we've learned throughout this whole
yeah,
free agency all season. It's
yeah,
just, yeah, the league's a cutthroat business. It is
yeah.
what it is.
And I think I forgot where I heard it. I was like, Chargers fans kind of like, even though it sucks with all the things that they happen. I think we just still believe in Jim Harbaugh and what he's gonna do with this team. Like we're just confident with him what he's gonna do with him. Obviously, we had to let go of people. I think we're just confident right now. We're still confident with him, and we got Justin Herbert. I'm sure we're the fifth round. We got the fifth pick or the fifth pick. So I wonder what are we gonna do. We can pick up receivers. We can get Brock Bowers. We can still get Duze, neighbors.
He, re- he really
So
believes he's just going to rebuild the whole Michigan team. That he's definitely going to probably like find guys who are draft eligible from Michigan, maybe
well,
just incorporate them
and then
into
yeah.
the Chargers.
So we picked up Gus Edwards too. So I think this team is gonna be heavy on the run. It's gonna be a tough team. The way they coach, like just like how he coached Michigan, everybody's gonna be a very tough physical team. He's gonna take some pressure off Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert had to throw a lot throughout his career, and he had all the pressure there. He was forced to, like just obviously who he was. I think he's gonna take some pressure off Justin Herbert, rely on the run game, obviously make some key adjustments on the offense, and we'll see. I'm excited for the next for the upcoming season. I expect us to have a good season. I don't know about like making it that far in the playoffs, but I never know. We never know. Definitely for the other season I'm following, I'm expecting a lot, but I'm excited for what Jim Harbaugh is going to do with the Chargers. And I think we're all confident in him. Obviously, we finally have a really good coach because the
It's
Brandon
an
Staley,
upgrade from what you had previously.
yeah.
I think all NFL fans
But
can agree
but
on
but
that.
but but Justin Herbert was able to like overcome the horrible head coaching. Like,
And he was also another quarterback that was affected by yeah another there was another team that also had more backup quarterback issues.
yeah. So we're definitely excited for the upcoming season. And just, we'll see. The NFL draft is always exciting. I think the Bears are what the Bears are gonna go for Caleb Williams. I think it's pretty much that's. I mean, who the hell knows, man? I mean, we all think Caleb Williams is gonna be that guy, but who the hell knows? I think the Bears they're looking at a better team. They finished the season. What did they finish, like 7-10 or 7-9 or something like that? They had
Yeah,
a winning,
7 and 10.
yeah, 7-10. So they did a lot of improvement. Now, obviously, they have Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift. The defense got a little bit better. So whatever quarterback comes, it's a perfect situation. Whether it's like I said, I don't who the hell knows is going to be the quarterback. Caleb Williams doesn't really say much. Supposedly, there a lot of people are saying that he should, pull a Eli, just be like, I don't want to go there and try to fit somewhere else. Maybe Washington. Obviously, we're in we're in the DMV area, so we definitely
Yeah.
we're in need of a quarterback.
I
But if
mean,
we
they pulled off all the stops as if they were gonna get Caleb Williams. They even brought his old coach with Kingsbury,
yeah.
which kind of set the idea of, oh, maybe we're gonna bring in Caleb, but now that Justin Fields is out of there, I think Chicago they're starting to feel good about themselves.
No, but if it was obviously, I have a feeling that Caleb was gonna go first. But if he doesn't, like, that would be great. That's perfect fit. But I'm a big fan of JT Daniels. I don't think they should go for another North Carolina quarterback. Drake May, he's big, physical, kind of like I forgot who they compared him to, but I think JT Daniels has a more high ceiling. He could be something special in the NFL. Obviously, the Heisman Trophy winner of the last year. Um, I personally want JT Daniels to be in the Commanders. I think he's a better quarterback of between him and what's his name, Drake May. But like I said, the NFL, the offseason, the draft is so confusing. Nobody knows. Everybody's all the owners and everybody just lying to their saying, oh, we're gonna take this. Who the hell knows until the day of the draft? Even the day of the draft, like a few minutes, the clock going down. I don't know. You trade. So it's gonna be an exciting NFL draft. But I'm sure we're not done yet because there's still a lot of free agents that are left. Big time names. And like a lot of teams without a quarterback, obviously the Patriots they're the third pick. Minnesota, who the hell who's going to be their quarterback? So
Yeah, I'm sure the Raiders, the Vikings, and the Patriots, they're all going to be. I think they're going to find their quarterback of the future in the draft.
yeah. Okay, so also Derrick Henry to the Ravens. What's your thoughts on that? Obviously, you had you said something that what you say that he was washed, but I think that's just
I
more that's more to
I didn't say he was.
the rivalry. I get it, the rivalry.
What I was alluding to was, yeah, when star player, I mean, Derrick Henry wasn't expected to come back to the Titans, but I was basically saying, I guess like when star players get traded, especially at like even if they're still productive, that's kind of, I think that's just a sign of them saying the organization thinking they're old,
Nah,
which is
but
kind
there
of like that's kind of how I view the Keenan Allen trade.
Yeah, but Derrick Henry's it's a beast, man. He's such a beast. He's probably gonna step up somebody somebody next season. Um, the Ravens definitely got the running game. I think that was the issue during I guess the Chiefs that didn't run the ball, so they have an upgrade now, and they have a lot of running backs still, despite them trading Gus Edwards, or I think he was traded, or no, I think he was just a free agent or something like that. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens. Like we said, NBA playoffs coming soon, possibly March Madness. When I talk about it, we don't really get into college basketball not till March Madness because that's when it's more exciting, and hopefully somebody maybe a bracket. We'll see what happens, but those probably are just done within the first game, the first week, the first round of the tournament. But it should definitely be exciting March Madness.
Just expecting more and more news. It's just gonna have us blown away.
Yeah, man. Their phones probably won't stop re-ring Twitter. I mean X. Probably get a lot of notifications, and yeah, we'll see. But till then, we'll be back with another episode, hopefully next week or something. But till then, peace.
Yep. Let's end this before we get community noted. Goodbye.